Alrighty, hi there guys, my name's ACTIONDAN and welcome to my next video. Now this video I'm super excited, this is going to be one of the most fun YouTube videos I've ever put together, and that's testing out the flight range of the pretty new DJI Mini 3. This thing is crazy in price, they sell it in a very difficult manner so you have to buy all the accessories separately, unlike the Mini 1 and the Mini 2 where you could get a good package. This thing, if you want to buy all the bits and pieces, it costs around $1,600 Australian.
What? $1,600?
My first car, that thing cost me like $850, and this thing, this little 250 gram piece of plastic, costs $1,600. It's very expensive, and before we even start, I'd recommend to my friends, don't buy it. Start with something sensible. Get the Mini 1 drone, or if you want to push it, maybe there's a bit of reason to get the Mini 2, but not much. The range on this thing is claimed to be up to 5 kilometers, and the battery life is claimed to be 32 minutes. You pretty much divide it by 3 and times by 2. You get about 2/3 of what anyone claims with electricals. Their 32 minutes is more like translation 24 minutes, and with the DJI Mini 1 and 2, where you got an average claimed of half an hour's battery life, you realistically got 20 minutes. So I'm expecting this thing is only going to be able to fly, not for its 35 minutes they claim, but for about 25 minutes. So this is a range test video. Make a bet right now with me, make a bet. I've already done the test, so I know how far it got, but I swear on my grave, I thought the drone would get about 2.5 kilometers away from me, and that would be very impressive. Make a guess right now. How far do you think that drone's gonna get? Did you make a guess? I bet 2.5 Ks. Let's find out how far this awesome drone gets, awesome expensive drone gets, right after the introduction video.
ACTIONDAN, the greatest hero of them all.
Right from the very first second, isn't the drone footage just beautiful, amazing? And here's my beautiful wife, and my beautiful firstborn son, J.J. Isn't he just adorable, just like his dad? Anyway, let's get into the drone video. The quality here of the video footage as the drone takes off in the beginning is probably the worst footage in the entire clip you're about to watch, but look at it while I pause it, that's still pretty good. If you want to get perfect quality video out of your drone, you're meant to buy these lens covers, a bit like sunglasses, so that you can get rid of all the glare and see everything more evenly instead of just a bright white sky and black trees. When you put these lens covers on, I can't remember what they're called, it makes the sky being able to keep its light blue, and the trees will be green, medium green and dark green, and you'll be able to see much more detail. Okay, so throughout this range flight test I'm showing you guys, I'm going to keep going back and forth between the beautiful video and the map to show how far away the drone's getting from me and what's happening during the flight. So first off, one cool thing that DJI does is it keeps a logbook of where your drone flew, exactly what place and what time. Can you see the high detail flight path of the drone being shown on the map before I've actually done it? Because this is not live, this is a replay of the flight. Just a funny thing I'll tell you now about the people that come with me on this kayaking activity, other than the drone. See this girl with the single kayak all by herself, the short one? Just by amazing coincidence, she brought a Mini 3 drone to this social group activity, and she didn't know that I'd brought mine. So as I'm flying this Mini 3 drone around her head, she thinks that this is her drone, and she's wondering how on earth is Danny flying my drone? Felt a bit sorry for the girl, but you can see she's got big smiles and big waves, and she seemed to be confident that if Danny was flying her drone without even asking if he can get this drone out this far from where he's standing, then he must be able to keep the drone alive. If you look at the map again, I've been a bit silly. I've done pretty much 2 full circles around the people kayaking, and now after returning to where I was standing, I then decided to do the flight range test. That was very stupid of me. I should have landed the drone and I should have changed its battery and started from where I was standing and just gone out in a straight line so that I had extra battery life to spare, but I didn't. Look at the amazing quality of this drone footage. See my friends down there, these tiny little color dots? They're what? They're like, I don't know, 600 meters from the drone at this point, but you can still see them pretty sharply. I'll just pause it here for a second. If you don't remember where the drone kind of launched from, I'm standing right there. So how far has the drone gone? I've already been gas bagging for about 5 minutes. I would guess the drone at this point is about 1800 meters away from me. Let's find out when the map pops back up. Oh, I was pretty spot on. 1850 meters. Okay, so we're about halfway now. Now, if you look in the top right-hand corner of the video, you can see the dam wall beginning to appear. That was my target. That's where I was going to go to. I was going to try and get myself on the far side of the dam wall, just so that I could turn around and look at it and enjoy the view that I'd never normally get to see of the dam wall from its front. So we've just gone past 2,300 meters. That is the guess I had of its maximum range. I think I guessed 2,200 meters actually. It's still showing me perfect 5 out of 5 reception. That's amazing. One good side about the Mini 1 that is better than the Mini 2 and the Mini 3 is its signal isn't anywhere near as reliable, but it gives you lots of warning. When you're flying the Mini 1, it doesn't just always say 5 out of 5 bars reception. It says 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1, and it goes up and down slowly, giving you lots of warning. It doesn't go anywhere near as far as the Mini 3, but the Mini 3, even though it can go far away, it just says 5 out of 5, 5 out of 5, and then all of a sudden you have no reception. So that's one of the very annoying features about the Mini 3. There we go. I've gone over 3 kilometers now. I'm nearly at the drone's maximum range, and I begun to lose signal right about here. I remember as I was looking at that water gate, this is when I lost the signal, and I just kept holding the drone buttons in the same position. Check that out. 3,353 meters. That's amazing. I predicted 2,200 meters. If the drone could only travel half this distance, I would still say that that is beyond what anybody needs. So anybody who's going to complain about the Mini 3 drone's range of 3.5 kilometers, man, you're picky. Now this bit here where I turn the drone around, I regained signal, so I decided I'd try and have a quick look at where the water goes and look at these little waterfalls, but it instantly cut me off again as soon as I turned my back with my signal. It lost signal again completely. So now this part here, I'm actually flying the drone back to myself completely blind. Well, I'm not flying it. What I've done at this point is I've done the sensible thing, and that's just take your hands off the controller, and when it loses signal, it counts down from 10 seconds warning, and it says when I get to 0, I'm going to return the drone to home, RTH, automatically. Now, if you look at that zigzag in the map, this is when I begin to regain signal to my drone, and I can begin to see where the drone is facing and that it is on the way back again. So the total distance I got away from myself was, we'll just say 3,400 meters from now on, 3,400 meters to the closest 100. But amazingly, when I'm nearly halfway back, here, I lost signal again completely. And I began to freak out, wondering why could I get the drone away from me so far away, but now that it's nearly halfway back, I'm losing signal. When I flew out, I was on the left-hand side of the screen, and there was a clear line of sight you can see on the map between here and here. But when I came back, I had lots of trees and land that were close to me that I think were blocking the signal strength. So just remember that if you ever fly your drone far away, being down low, below 100 meters, isn't good unless you're on flat, grassy plains. If you have trees around you, you need to get the drone up high to ensure that you don't lose signal. But as soon as I say that, staying high, you can see in my video that I'm actually coming down. I'll explain why. The problem with the drone being high and low is when you're high, you probably have much greater chance at signal strength than when you're low. But if you're high, you also have the bad side problem of being much more likely to have high pressure winds in your face. And that's what I had at this moment. I had high headwinds slowing my drone down. The drone was traveling at a speed of about 15 meters a second when it was heading out, and now on the way back it's only traveling at about 7 meters a second. So it's saying it wants twice as much time to get back as what it needed to get out. So I'm beginning to freak out. So even though you get a better signal strength at a high height, I'm by force having to bring the drone down to get out of, or to try and get out of a headwind. But if I come down too far out of a headwind, these trees here will block my signal and I may not be able to get the drone back. So I was beginning to freak out. Another annoying thing, if you go back and forth throughout this entire video, you see that the battery life time estimate that the Mini 3 has is hideous. One moment it says you've got 10 minutes, the next moment it says you've got 20 minutes. DJI need to really work on something to fix that up a bit. What would be far more accurate is just knowing the average life of your battery to be around 22 minutes. So really what you should do is when you launch a drone, forget about its time estimate on the app, just start your stopwatch on your phone in the background and know that you need to try and get the drone back to you by the time it gets to 18 minutes or 24 minutes absolute max. It's not me, that's the drone forcing a landing because the battery life is too low. Once you get your drone battery down to under 2 minutes, the drone tries to take over and it tries to force the drone to land wherever it is, and you have to keep hitting stop on a 10-second countdown. Back there, the drone nearly killed itself and nearly landed in the water. And if I'd lost signal, I wouldn't be able to tell the drone not to land, so be really careful. Well, that's my range test video all over and done with. Was that not freaking amazing or what? I can't believe that this tiny little thing that can fit in a school kid's lunchbox and weighs 250 grams piece of plastic, this could go 3.5 kilometers, rounding it off, 3.5 kilometers away from me, like 6 times further than what I can see with my eyes with this little object. The thing's awesome, but no, honestly, I would not recommend this to my friends at all. I think the price is outrageous for the small extra capabilities this drone has compared to the Mini 2 and the Mini 1. If you're a beginner and you want to get your first drone, I would tell all my friends, just get the Mini 1. The Mini 1 has about 80% the overall capabilities and its range and speed and performance and video, I won't say video strength, I'll say the video on the Mini 1, 2 and 3 to any average Joe that doesn't know how to do video editing and doesn't know how to use the features fully. If you uploaded them on YouTube, I bet the average Joe wouldn't be able to tell the difference between any of the videos. They'd all think the Mini 1, 2 and 3 were filmed on just about the same device. So in short, the only sort of benefits you get from buying the super expensive Mini 2 and Mini 3 benefits that you're only going to get once you become experienced anyway and you learn how to use the drone. If you haven't learned how to use or fly any form of drone ever before and this is your first drone, please do me and yourself a favor, just get the cheap Mini 1. You really don't need the Mini 3. The Mini 1 this year for Christmas is going to be about 400 Australian dollars, and with the same amount of accessories and the free battery packs as standard and so on in the Mini 3, to get that one in Australian dollars for Christmas, not 400, you're going to be expecting about $1,600. So what's that? Is that 4 times as much? Yeah, 4 times as expensive. That is insane. It's 4 times as expensive, but it is nowhere near 4 times the drone. The Mini 1 has about 80% the capabilities of the Mini 3, so there you go. Anyways, I hope you guys really liked this video, and I'm curious, post your comments for me down below. Tell me, when you made your guess at the start of this video, how far away did you think this drone was going to get? I think my guess was 2.2 kilometers, and it turned out to be 3.4 kilometers pretty much. So an extra third as far as I thought it would get. That's astonishing, and you never need to go anywhere near that far, not even half that far. If you're going to use the drone in any sort of normal way, the max you're probably ever realistically going to need to get your drone away from yourself is probably 400 meters, which you can do 3 times fold in worst imaginable conditions with the Mini 1 all the time. So you really don't need anything better than the Mini 1 if you're sensible and you're a beginner. Anyways, that's enough gas bagging. I hope you liked this video. I hope you watched the whole thing. And if you did hang around and you did watch this whole video, can you please do me a big favor? Help me out with my brand new hobby channel. And please subscribe down below. And at very least, if you're not going to subscribe, give me that thumbs up at least. If I don't get that thumbs up, I'll come find you. See you next time, guys. Bye.
ACTIONDAN, the greatest hero of them all.
If you'd like to see a range test with the original Mini 1, click on that link on the left. To see one of my other random outdoor adventures, click on the link on the right.